Hey everybody, Creation Divine. I have not been doing videos because I have been super busy. I've been trying to get my GED done, plus homeschooling my kiddos, and then working, cleaning houses. But I have great news for you. My sage is growing wonderful, so hopefully here soon I might be able to sell some sage bundles. Check out this. So this is my sage right here. She's been growing great. Look how beautiful that's getting. Like, I had a, oh, wow, I didn't do it very well with that part. Look how beautiful she's getting. She's just so pretty. I had a little scare with her the other day, about a week ago. It was really hot outside, um, and this one right here. This one's a little bit more little scare. I did not think that the sun would have been so dangerous. It almost died. Like the heat made it shrivel, and I was so scared. So here I am rushing it into the house, giving it water. The next day it sprouted right back up. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so scary. So now they're inside. They're in the house. Both of my sages are in the house. I have other herbs I'm waiting on. Oh, it's been a mess. I cannot for the life of me get my lavender to grow. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And if you look at my other videos, I was talking about my toothache plant. It died. Like, it was doing so good. And it either died or somebody picked it. And I think somebody picked it because one of my kids or something, because it was outside. And I looked at it and like half of it was like out of the pot. Either that or just like the sun scorched it. But listen, I'm still learning how to grow these herbs. So I've got to see what I can do to regrow them. But I do know that my sunflowers are coming up. I do know that my rosemary and catnip was coming up, but I had to replant it because again I messed up. If anybody has any advice about catnip and rosemary, lavender, please let me know. My echinacea looks like it's growing, so I'll have to keep you updated on that, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure my echinacea is coming up. My sunflowers are coming up. I got my kids some succulent plants. They're so cute. But that's for them. So like with my sage, the reason I'm updating you on it is because I do plan on making sage bundles and throwing them on my Mercari. Great news with that. I ended up selling the clothes I was telling you guys about to a lady, and she was so patient with me because I was like, wait, it's a lot of work. Okay. Especially when you're homeschooling, getting your GED, and then cleaning houses. It's a lot. Anyway, so if you look at my old videos, I talk about different beliefs, different religions, all of that good stuff. I recently have been going through, I guess, a spiritual awakening. My husband and I and our kids started going to a church, and it's been amazing. They kind of act as if they're non-denominational, and I like that because we're not focusing on one specific religion. And so it's been really nice focusing on just like this spirituality of God. And I wanted to mention, because I have a feeling that I might be getting judgments over one subject I had brought up in one of my videos. I mentioned to you guys about how I feel like witchcraft is not all that bad. Now, that is not how I intended it to sound like, okay? So what I meant by that is I have had friends that has been involved in that, and their intentions on it wasn't bad. Now, I do know people that, well, I don't actually know them, but I have heard of them, or I have passed by them to know that their intentions with that is bad. Okay, those people who do really bad stuff with it is what puts a bad rep on it. Now, let me get to the point of friends that have, but did it for a good purpose. I wouldn't even necessarily call it witchcraft. So this is what I mean. There is people out there who are called healers. What they do is it's technically not even like witchcraft. So what they do is they believe in God and they have God in their heart. They worship him. Not everybody worships God in the same way. As long as you have God in your heart and you worship him and that is the correct way, then that's the right way. These healers, what they do is they believe in the herbs. They believe in like manifestations and stuff like that. Let me explain this to you. Manifestation is the same thing as praying. When manifestation is when it's repetition, right? So you are wishing for something and you're really focusing in on it. Now I'm going to tell you, prayer is the most powerful. And the reason why I say that is because it gets to God quicker. You are reaching out and manifesting quicker by going to the source, other than writing on a piece of paper and saying it out loud. Yes, the universe hears you, but do you realize the universe is God? Like the universe, yes, God may have the universe watching over, but did you ever stop to think God is the one who runs it all, right? Look at it this way. God is the CEO over everything that happens. There's people who mention, well, what if there is other things, other higher beings? Listen, there's never going to be anybody more powerful than God, okay? God may have workers for him that come on earth and help other people. People call them, how would you say it? What's the word I'm looking for that people call them? I guess people call them, why is it not coming to my head? Apostles? I don't know. But people claim it like people who are really close to God, they can send out messages to people, right? So you got your preachers, you've got prophets. That's what I was talking about. Prophets, blah blah blah. Listen, they're God's workers, okay? They come onto earth to help guide us in the right direction. Some people call them gods and goddesses. Nobody on earth really knows what these things are that are God's workers. So people come up with just names of what they can at the time. You know how you'll be like, for like a weed whacker, right? Some people call it weed eater or weed whacker or stuff like that. Sometimes people just don't have the patience to focus on the right name, so they just come up with a name to worship that, right? So when you hear people say gods or goddesses, stuff like that, that doesn't always mean a bad thing. Because some people, it comes to a point in life where people don't know what the right or wrong thing is. So it makes it really hard for people to focus on a religion. There's some people who's had very bad experiences with religion, and so it makes it really hard for people to focus on certain things because it could be a trigger, because like I've mentioned in my other videos, now there's a difference between a parent disciplining you and a parent tormenting you, okay? Let's say little Johnny doesn't want to go to church, okay? The parents are not very happy about it. They tell him, hey, you need to go to church, it's the right thing to do. Little Johnny still fights them on it. But they're still collective and like, listen, if you don't go to church, you're going to have some consequences because we all go. You're part of the family. If we go to church, you go to church. There's nothing wrong with saying that to little Johnny, okay? The difference is if little Johnny, let's take little Johnny and put him in a different family, okay? Little Johnny doesn't want to go to church one Sunday. And these new parents, they straight out of the blue just flip out on little Johnny. They take little Johnny and they beat him, slap him, beat him. Like, That is not the right form of discipline. Little Johnny just got trauma put on him for not wanting to go to church, but they beat him. Like, it wasn't no spanking. It wasn't just a little slap across the face, like full on beat him, calling him evil for not wanting to go or whatever. Those kind of families who are like that and belittle little Johnny and make him feel horrible. It doesn't always have to be physical. It can be mental trauma too. Let's say little Johnny goes to another family, okay? Little Johnny doesn't want to go to church. These parents don't beat him. They don't give him consequences, but they sit there and they say, little Johnny, you're worthless. You're not a good kid. You are following Satan's way for not going to church, blah, blah, blah. You kind of get the drift I'm saying, right? There is little Johnnies out there that have been through either physical or mental abuse for not wanting to go to church. The right way to redirect your child to go to church is explain to him, listen, little Johnny, we go to church as a family. It is important for you to go to church and learn about the Lord. And if you don't want to go to church, you are going to have consequences, like maybe you don't get any TV when we get back, or maybe, I don't know, you don't get a certain candy, or you're grounded or whatever, right? Or there is some parent, little Johnny gets a little bit crazy over it. Like little Johnny will start throwing a tantrum about what they just said about consequences. Well, little Johnny's got to have a discipline for that, right? Little Johnny was told at the beginning what would happen for his consequences if he doesn't go. Let's say little Johnny yells at his parents and says, I'm absolutely not going to go. Some little Johnnies can be violent, or some little Johnnies can be really mouthy. Well, you can't allow little Johnny to talk to his parents that way. So little Johnny might get his little butt spanked for it. It's not illegal to spank your kids with your hand. It's not illegal. So that is different. And some people will take that as being forceful too. But there's differences and different steps that you have to take with your kids for church. And like I said, some little Johnnies didn't have a structure like that where they had it explained to them at first. And if little Johnny acted out and was really rude or disrespectful, little Johnny got a little spanking. There's some kids that didn't have that structure, guys. There's some little Johnnies that have went through physical abuse or mental abuse for not going to church. So that is why there are certain people out there who are afraid of religion, okay? That is why. And it's not because they don't have God in their heart. It's not because they don't believe. It's because of the traumas they've been through. And yes, some people will say, well, they need to get over it. Okay, they need to get over it, but how can they get over from trauma if they don't have somebody there to help them get through it? Some people will say, well, I had to get through my traumas by myself. That's great, but everybody is like that. Not everybody learns that way. So yes, little Johnny growing up is going to have some resentment, not because they don't believe in God, but because of the traumas they've been through. There might be even cases where it goes deeper than that. Like maybe their parents didn't teach them about religion. And that's sad, but that does happen. And so they grow up in a family who do not have a religion, so they don't know anything about that when they get older. Like, what's that? What's church? What's God? Well, that's why God has workers to help people. Whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter, because they're all working for God to help us. Now back to the subject about the whole witchcraft I was bringing up to you. I simply feel like witchcraft should be the label on the people who have done horrible bad things. I am not for it. I do not like that. But people who are trying to help others, like heal them, like herbally and spiritually, like help them, people want to throw witchcraft on that, and that's wrong. Stop labeling healing and goodness in witchcraft category. There is different labels, okay? If you go and you tell somebody, I do witchcraft, what do you think they're gonna think? They're gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, stay away from me, okay? If you are a natural healer, if you are there to help people herbally, with crystals, any kind of healing, any kind of spiritual healing, any of that, and it's all good things, and you're just trying to help somebody, call yourself a healer to give a better idea. Now, it's not my place to tell you what to name it, but I'm just saying, if you don't want that bad label on yourself, explain yourself better, because there's people out there who don't understand that. And when you say witchcraft, now I know I just bit myself in the butt because I told you I know of friends who did it, but the problem is that people don't fully understand. So I'm trying to split it down the middle here. My friends are healers, okay? But my friends, not all of my friends, okay? So don't freak out. I have a couple of them. They call it that. And I've had to redirect and be like, listen, you can't be calling it that because people are going to think you're bad, okay? These friends have God in their heart. They pray, they worship God, but they heal, they help people, like with their herbs. They'll come up with herbal medicines or manifestations. They will manifest things for people or stuff like that. That is not witchcraft, okay? That is love and magic from God that He gave them as a gift. God gives people gifts to have to help people on earth. Witchcraft is the bad label. Those are the people who think they need to do all this terrible, nasty, dark magic on people and harm them in their lives. And that is wrong. That is not God's way. I don't care what you say. That is not what God wants. So I just want to kind of clarify, in case I rubbed somebody the wrong way with what I was saying. So I have friends that do healing. They're healers. They do not do witchcraft. I just wanted to divide the different names for you to tell you that. But some people, they don't look at it as healers. If they hear anything about manifestation, they like freak out because it's like, oh, that's witchcraft. No, it's not, because people have different beliefs. As long as they have God in their heart and they're doing good and they're doing the right thing for people and what God would do, that is good. If you're doing mean, nasty things to people, you're horrible for doing that to them, and that would be labeled as witchcraft. Just wanted to put that out of the way, okay? Okay, back on subject. So my sage here, I use sage. Now, sage is a good seasoning to put on things. Sage is a good cleanser for your blood and stuff like that. But did you also know when you burn sage, it helps clean the germs out of the air and helps the air stay clean? That's one of the reasons why I burn sage. And then number 2, sage is supposed to help cleanse any negative energy around you. Let's say you have some grumpy person show up at your house, okay, and you feel that nasty negative energy. Every time I feel that, I take my bundle of sage and I will go around my house, and it does tend to lighten the mood. So that's where I can testify that it's a real thing. Now people are gonna freak out like, the only person who can do that is God. You're right, but God put things on earth for us to use, to help too, just to help purify that. So we're going to use it. Whether you look at it in a bad way or not, I know what God has put on this earth and I'm going to use it. So, just relighting my sage here. As you can tell, I've got my sage bundle going right now. You can get it from Walmart. It's just as good as the stuff you grow. It's sage. You can't get any fancier than that. You'll know if it's sage or not. You'll know because it's the way it smells. If it doesn't smell like sage, girl, you don't got it. Like, it ain't sage if it don't smell like sage. But this is sage. This is white sage. And then there's other types of sage. Like, I have clary sage. And clary, all sages cleanse the air and all that. There's different spiritual, I can't talk tonight. There's different spiritual meanings behind every herb and every plant. People say, well, spiritual isn't God. It is. Where do you think the word spiritual comes from? It comes from God. So yes, it is from God, because spirituality, you believe in God and you're worshiping Him. So I don't want to hear it. But yeah, I love the smell of sage. It smells so good. It smells so good. Also, people say too, you can cleanse yourself with sage, like if you're feeling really negative and like bad. So what I'll do with my sage is I'll bring it up to me. Here, hold on, I'll kind of show you what I mean. Okay, so it's burning, right? I can't really see the smoke that well. But what I do is I take the sage and I kind of weave it towards me. You're kind of cleansing yourself. It just kind of brings over here. You relax, and you do feel a big difference. You really do. It makes, I like the smell of it, so it kind of helps calm me down. It helps me recollect myself before and after praying. And the white candles bring peace and purification. So I like to burn white candles while meditation, or if I just feel like having the feeling of lightness in my life, I like white candles. Pink cup, we talk about this all the time, every video. So the pink cup, I have spent a long time, well, not a long time, it only took me a couple hours, but after praying, or after meditation, I always pray before meditation, so I know I'm getting the right answers from God. I will write down words that pop in my head. And I prayed one night and asked God, what are these words for? And all I heard in my heart was, these are for people who need help with certain things they're going through in their life. So what I did was I wrote them all down, and there, as you can tell, there's like a bunch of papers, and that tells me there's a lot of people out there who need messages. So what I do is, because of me having that closeness with God and meditation and all this spirituality and stuff I'm telling you about, I will close my eyes, I'll shake the cup, and I'll ask, what does this person need to know or hear? And whatever paper I pull out, it's for you, whoever it is. And I just listen to my heart who it's for, and I explain it. And it's all positive, it's nothing bad. It's just to kind of help guide people along. It's really amazing, especially the subjects I've been on. Like, I'll notice that the right messages will come through. And I've only wrote one word each. There's no replicates of this. So after a couple of rounds, I'll just put them all back and shake them up really good. I kind of normally get that feeling when I need to do that. Or maybe there is times where I'll just put them right back in the cup. It just depends, whatever my spirit guide tells me. And a lot of people get after me with that. It's called the Holy Ghost. It's the same thing. Holy Ghost, spirit guide, it's the same thing. It's just a word. It's just a name. It's nothing crazy. It's okay. You can call it whatever you want, because it's a message from God for someone to leave a message for you. It doesn't matter. So anyway, my spirit guide will give me my answers through God. Don't worry. A lot of people are picky with that. In all honesty, I have God in my heart. My husband has God in his heart. My kids have God in their hearts. You know, as long as you're doing something right and good for somebody, that's what matters. So, okay, we're going to get to it. So I'm going to set you right here. Try to anyway. Let's see. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Don't mind my USA shirt. It's just, you know. Got my sage and candle right here. I'm gonna set it here. Candles also help you focus in on what your higher self is reaching out to. Your higher self is your chakra. So you got your crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra. And a lot of people know about that, and God gave that too. He created your body. So yes, you do have all the chakras, whether you want to admit it or not. And it's nothing bad or evil. It's just your way of connecting with your body and mind more. It's called grounding. I also have, let's see, these are the sweeties that are calling out to me tonight. I've got my rose quartz tower, and this is my gift. I connect through the crystals God has created on earth to help with messages. So this is my rose quartz of the love stone, amethyst. It's lighter because it's set on the sun and it discolors it. Yes, it's an all-natural color, but minerals do tend to fade if you, excuse me, if you don't care for them. We bought it for it. We bought it like this. Can't do anything about it. And no, you do not repaint them or anything because you're killing the natural minerals in them. Is my other amethyst. So rose quartz is a love stone. Amethyst is more for like anxiety, depression. So it sounds like that's gonna be kind of our subject tonight, is love and anxiety and depression. I could be wrong. I know amethyst helps calm down anxiety and depression. So we're gonna get started. I've got my clary sage that's hanging out with us, and my other little guy that's hanging out with us. Okay. I love my herbs, and I take my herbs, flowers, and plants very seriously. Oh, and I do have strawberries growing now. Okay. What does this person need to know? What does this person need to hear? Okay. Jealousy. Okay, we got jealousy. We're gonna do another one. One literally just fell out of my cup, so that was meant to happen. I don't believe in coincidences, and I believe that any of my videos is timeless. So whenever you find these videos, it's meant for you. We got emotional reasoning, jealousy, emotional reasoning. I normally don't do a few at a time, but I'm just getting that feeling I need to tonight. Singing can bring a lot of peace and joy. That's what we do in church, and it brings a lot of love and happiness. Rest. One more. Wow, that flew out of there like a little birdie. Change. Okay, so we're first gonna focus on jealousy. Okay, jealousy, you can't see it that well from here, and that's okay, but I'm not gonna lie to you. What it says: emotional healing, singing, rest, and change. Okay, like I said, we're gonna go over jealousy. So jealousy could mean two things. What I'm getting from this is you may have somebody who's jealous of you over somebody who you may be in a relationship with, or jealousy as if somebody is jealous for something you have and they don't have. The best way to go about this is to remind yourself that it's not your problem that somebody is jealous over something you have and they don't have, because God has a different path and way for them. So if somebody's giving you a hard time, just know it could be jealousy. If you have somebody who is rude to you and gives you a hard time with things, it's most likely because they're jealous of you. Just be careful with people like that, because people with jealousy can be pretty nasty. So whoever it is could be being pretty nasty with you or has not yet approached you, or there could be someone jealous of you and they just don't even want to talk to you. But just keep in mind, I'm just getting this feeling, watch out for this person if it does resonate, because there is some people who can be really nasty, and especially with jealousy. So just keep that in mind. And the best way to keep somebody away from you that's like that, mean and nasty, number one, you need to pray about it. You need to talk to God about it and ask Him to keep you and protect you and keep you safe from anybody around you who could be jealous of you. Second thing you need to do in your prayer is you need to mention, please fill this person with love and kindness that is not being fulfilled, because whoever's jealous of you, they don't have the love and care that you're getting. So they need that love and fulfillment. You got to look at things in a positive way. If someone's gonna be nasty towards you, it's because they're missing something in their life, and it's kind of sad. So just pray for them to have that love that you have to fulfill their life. Be nice and try to be nice and loving with them. I mean, there's some times where you can't, like you got that Karen out there that you try to be so nice and loving to, and they're just still not going to be nice to you. They're going to be nasty. So just pray for them. And the other thing I want to mention about people with jealousy is watch the people that are really close to you. You'll know if that person, I put that back in the cup, by the way. You'll know who your true people are when you're dealing with somebody who's jealous, because people that you have in your circle, they're either going to, however nasty this person can be, they can try to attack the people they know that you're really close to and try to cause problems. And that's when you know if that person is true to you or not, if they stick by your side or take some random person's side and become childish with them. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we got emotional reasoning. So emotional reasoning is kind of covering what I just almost said, kind of in a way. Emotional reasoning is where, let's say I'm getting the fact that you have hurt feelings, or someone's been really harsh on you and mean. When you're going through a hard time, you got to give yourself emotional reasoning. Like, is it worth getting mad about this? Is it worth being upset? Is it worth tearing myself up over it? Is it worth worrying about? Is it going to be worth anything? You got to kind of sit down with yourself and ask yourself, is it even worth getting mad about this? Is it even worth talking to this person about? You got to kind of pick and choose your battles with whoever this is and whatever you're going through, because in reality, us humans are not perfect, and we do tend to pick fights and battles that it's not even worth winning or losing over. We have these things in life called energy hogs. Like, they try to come in and take your good energy by just being mean and nasty to you. And that's what emotional reasoning comes in. It's like setting a boundary for your soul. Like, allowing yourself to understand if it's something worth fighting for. I guess the best example that's coming through my mind right now for you is, for instance, let's say someone cheats on you. Is it worth getting mad at them about? Or are you just at this point like so fed up with it or so shocked that it's even worth it? Because if someone's going to do that to you, obviously they're not worth your time to get mad about, right? Let's say a boss at work is being mean or rude to you, and is it worth fighting with them? Do you really want to risk losing your job? Maybe step aside with them and say, hey, that really hurt my feelings. Is there anything we can, you got to kind of follow your vibes and see if it's even worth bringing up, even worth being angry or mad about. And I know it's easier said than done, because like I said, we're humans, none of us are perfect, but you got to take the time to ask yourself if there's certain things worth getting mad about or fighting for. So I'm relighting my sage right now. It doesn't want to burn that long. I guess that's a blessing too, that way I don't go through it as much. I'd say Walmart sage is still good, but I noticed that it's not as dry as it should be to burn better. Like, it burns good, it's just you gotta get it really hot, but it's doing it now, so we're good. So that's the whole emotional healing thing. Emotional reasoning. Take time out of your day to reason with yourself and write things down on what that bothered you about, and then like the kind of like bullet points of like what that person said to you to upset you or bother you, or what they did, and go through and weigh out your pros and cons before you make a rational decision on how to react. That's the best advice I can give you. Another one is singing. Wait, no, it was rest. Rest. Doesn't matter, either one. Rest. For us to be able to have good energy and have a strong connection with God and ourselves and our loved ones, we gotta make sure we're getting a lot of rest. Because if you have not noticed, when we're all tired and we've had long days, it can make it really hard to have a good mindset and attitude when you don't have enough rest. Rest is a really important factor in life. Don't ever allow somebody to push you to your limits to where you are overly drained, because they're draining your energy. If you don't have your rest, you are not going to be a happy person. You're going to be grumpy. You're going to be agitated. Oh yeah, by the way, I know you're probably wondering, I got cut on a nail cleaning a house. So if you're all wondering what happened to my hand, it got cut on a nail. And yes, I have my tetanus shot, and no, I didn't have to go to the hospital. I did not need stitches, but it was pretty dang close. Like, it hurt. Anyway, rest. Get plenty of rest. Rest helps you mentally and physically and medically. Talking about chakras and alignment, like, you need rest to be able to maintain yourself and maintain your life, and to be able to hear the messages God has for you through his helpers and through him. Rest is so important. That way you're not making rational decisions, you're not making bad decisions. You are just literally taking your time to think about how to go about it, and resting helps. So please get some rest. Whatever you may be going through, take time out of your day. If you just got back home from work and you see the dishes are piled up, just like, yeah, screw it. I'm going to go sit down for like 15 minutes and listen to meditation, or watch my favorite show, or go take a bath, or go take a shower. Who cares about your mess? I've had to learn that. I am so stubborn when it comes to a dirty house. I get so mad when I come back home from work and the house is trashed. But you know what? I've got to keep telling myself, I'm a mom. My husband's my husband. Nobody's perfect. And I gotta remind myself that every day. It's so hard because I have OCD. Um, but I'm learning. It's my learning curve on this earth that I cannot have everything perfect, and it's so hard. It's so hard sometimes. Singing is our next subject. Now, singing helps a lot emotionally. Our church, we do a lot of singing, and I love it. It just brings so much peace and joy. Singing is amazing. Um, Singing is amazing. It helps bring you joy, and it actually raises your endorphins. It helps bring that joy and happiness. And anything good is God, anything bad is not. It's Satan, from what people are saying and what I believe in. Anything nasty or negative, that's not God. God is all purity and love. Singing brings people joy. So sing a little song. Maybe even though I'm getting a message from it, maybe you had family members who loved singing. But just keep it in your mind, whatever message it may be from you. It could be from a loved one, or it could be just for you to sing. Singing is wonderful. It doesn't matter if you sound like a crazy person. Sing your heart out. And we've got change. Let me tell you about change, okay? I don't do good with change, okay? Maybe you don't either. Maybe you do love change. But I'm telling you, change is really a good thing. If you are comfortable in your life, you're doing something wrong. But if you're making changes and it's uncomfortable, you're doing the right thing. We're not meant to sit in the same spot our whole life. Once you get married and have kids, you're not supposed to sit. You're still supposed to be making changes about your life. So I feel like homeschooling is so important because your kids, they need to know all of the reality of life, not just stupid math, not just stupid English, but they need to know how to survive. They need to go out in nature and learn about the herbs and the plants. They need to know how nature runs. Not everybody does that anymore, you know? Change is good, and showing your kids that change is good is going to help them so much in the future. Like, it's been so hard for me with change because and I don't mean this bad at all, but you know, when you're in the same spot raised up so long, you get comfortable and you enjoy that. And there's some people who just love just being in the same spot. But I don't take change that well because I'm used to that lifestyle of just being able to sit there and relax. And so when me and my husband and kids have moved a lot recently, and I hate it, but I'm starting to get warmed back up to it because, like I said, if you're comfortable, you're in the wrong spot in your life. If you're uncomfortable, you're doing the right thing because God wants us to learn more than just one little thing. God doesn't want our kids to sit in school all day and learn from a different person. God wants, it's in the Bible for us parents to be the teachers and the caretakers of our children. And I understand there's parents out there that cannot homeschool or don't have the capacity to do or the patience, and that doesn't make you a bad person. But even if they are done, they come back home from school, take that time to go over that work they did at school and re-explain it to a woman. And just take that time to still try to make an effort to teach them about what they're learning. Because our children look up to us, and they do. They look up to us. There's some parents out there who just love to homeschool, but there's single moms or dads out there that can't, and you're not bad for that. There's married couples that would love to, but they can't. You're not bad for that, okay? still take that time after they come home from school, even if it's twice a week, and show them that you care and that you want to teach them about that, or go over that with them, or help them if they need any extra help, you know, because change is hard, you know. Let's say you guys have to move out of state. Your kids aren't used to that change. You gotta raise your kids up a way where change is a good thing, right? That went way off subject, but I'm just battling off what's going to my mind. And somebody had to hear that. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's not a coincidence. Like, somebody needed to hear that. Change is not easy. You move somewhere, you have to get used to it all over again. But God is putting you in that spot to help other people, or for other people to help and bless you, okay? God will move you where He wants you to be, because that's how you have your life out to be. That's how you wrote your life. You know, that's just how it goes. And that's why I feel like change is so important. So what I mean is, like, show your kids around. Take them on vacations. Show them. Take them for walks in different places. Do all this stuff with them as you can, so they can have that ability to work into change and it won't be so hard on them. Homeschooling, it does not shelter your kids. I know that because my kids, they are nowhere near sheltered. I'll tell you that much. They have so much social interaction that it ain't even funny. You wouldn't even guess they were homeschooled. They're so outgoing and they make friends everywhere. They are so much socially active that it's not even funny. There's families out there, though, that don't give that to their kids, and that's what puts a bad rep on it. And that's when people assume things. But anyway, that's my subjects for the night that I know people needed to hear. Got my rose quartz here, so whoever's needing their love, know that God is there. People who are having anxiety and depression, know that God is there, okay? Because you're not alone. You'll never be alone. You are so much loved by God and by people around you who are so loving and supportive towards you. Don't give up just because things are hard. Keep going, because you can, and you know you can. I always say a prayer at the end of my videos. For those who like that, stay. If the ones who don't, you don't have to, but it'd be nice if you would, so you can get the blessing that I'm about ready to pray for. Okay, everybody, let's begin. Dear Lord, thank you so much for all your wonderful blessings that you've been giving me and my husband and children. Thank you so much for all the blessings that you've been giving out to everybody else in this world. Help anybody who's watching this video to be able to have the blessings, whatever blessings that they're needing right now, whether it's financially, medically, or food-wise, or even struggles that they may be having with their children. Please bless them and fill their hearts full of your love and kindness and care, and for them to be able to thrive off your love and care, so they can love and care for their grandchildren, children, or animals, their fur babies, any kind of goals that they're wanting to set. Lord, please guide them in the right direction to make them happen and work. Please bless whoever may be watching this video. Bless them financially, mentally, medically, and with food if they need it. And just please bless these people to know that they are so loved and cared for by you and by me. I love everybody too, just like you, Lord. Thank you so much. And I think that's it. Amen. Thank you guys for watching my videos. Sorry, I know I get caught up on my words and it's like, oh, what was I just gonna say? It's been a long time. since I've done a video. It's just because I'm so tired and so busy, but I always try to make time for you. I'm going to be hopefully buying some bulk crystals soon. We've been trying to save money and all that with stuff, but I promise you it's still going to happen. So just keep your eye out. I will be advertising them once I get them in and once I can get them started. For the meantime, please enjoy the videos and content I have now. Y'all have a great day. Bye.